YouTube Premium. Try Student Plan with our limited time offer and get 3 months on us. Restrictions apply.
Alright, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, great. Yeah, it looks like I got about a 15-second delay on the video. And the music isn't overplaying on it too much, is it? Alright guys, the 5 viewers I have here, thanks for coming to check it out. I've got my chat going on my phone here so I could see everyone's comments. I'm going to answer any questions, any concerns. We'll talk it over. We'll go over the new wording mechanic, an idea that we have to change it up a little bit. Yeah, keep the chat going, and I'll let your voices be heard. And there's a bit of a delay, so just bear with me there. So here's Ronda. She is a 7 hand size, 5 value. Opponent cannot choose to lose the game due to your pre-match card effects. When you would choose one or more effects for your card effects, you may choose an additional effect. When your opponent must choose one or more effects for your card effects, he must choose additional options. You may pack Mixed Martial Arts Specialist, an Ultimate Fighter, and the Expendables. So there's a lot to take in there. So we'll go over what she can pack. Mixed Martial Arts Specialist. I have handy dandy Lackey going here. So it's a CM Punk card from Virtual 1. It's an 0 for 1 pre-match card, so she's starting off with Fortitude right off the bat. At the end of the pre-match, she can blank one of his revealed non-enforcer backstage area cards. If you do not, before the draw segment of your first turn, you may look at his hand. So that's going to blank any signature cards, 5th year or 10th year, any of the upcoming stuff we might have in the works. But importantly, it's giving you 1 Fortitude right off the bat. What else do we have here? An Ultimate Fighter is a Ken Shamrock, shared card with Brock Lesnar, 6 Fortitude. Action, you can put up to 3 maneuvers from your ringside in your hand, and your next maneuver played this turn is a multi. As a reversal, reverse any maneuver, and your opponent overturns 4 cards. When the reverse card is unique, you yourself overturns 4. And then it gives +1 stun to your superstar specific maneuvers. And lastly, for what she can pack is the Expendables, which is a Stone Cold Sheriff Austin card, 21 Fortitude. Put up to 6 cards from your ringside on the bottom of your arsenal, draw 1 card, and your opponent overturns 3 cards. So there's GM text to it, but I mean that's not going to really affect her too much. But the important thing we have here is her ability. She's getting multiple choices, and she's forcing her opponent to choose additional choices. So you're looking for cards with choose options. So there is quite a bit here. The main ones you're going to think of right away is Backed by Mr. McMahon and Vince managed by Vince. So she's going to get a lot of different choices for that one. She was fun to play test. She was one of our earlier superstars designed. She was designed after Elias. Can't remember who in our development team came up with most of this idea. She tested pretty favorably. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that one. You know, she doesn't come off as strong as Gargano comes up right away. But she has some more tricks up her sleeve with her other specific cards. But I've always liked the choose mechanic, like multiple choices. Damien Sandow has something similar, but it's on cards played. Let's look up choose one. I go to the playtest screen, but I don't want to show off any of the cards we had there. So it'd be like GM of Stevie Heat would give you both options. You know, your opponent discards a card, overturns a card whenever you successfully play a heat maneuver. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah. I dig Superstars to get both options on who booked this match throwback. Yeah, stuff like that. Is nothing overly powerful. Thematically, it goes against the whole, like her feud with Stephanie McMahon. However, in this game, we all know that a lot of decks built go against what they do on TV. This is starting to look like a lot of Toolbox Superstars. Yeah, there's a few of those in here. We didn't want to make a lot of Superstars linear, like kind of stuck to one choice. However, a lot of their support leans towards one choice. Like, I mean, you'll understand what I mean. So, like Vantage by Vince, she'll get 3 options on here, and backed by, where is it here? He does 3 of the following. Discards 2 or turn 7, skips his first turn, plays with his hand revealed until until the second turn of the match, allows you to drop 2 cards or concedes and loses. That's why her ability has the clause where they can't lose. I'm sorry. However, she's going to get 4 of those options, or he's forced to do 4 of those instead of 3. We'll move on to the next card, while I'm still not tripping over my words too badly. She has her no nonsense power walk. Basic backstage area cards. That's something we're trying to go with this virtual expansion. However, you're going to see Superstars with the virtual, normal, elaborate backstage wording. However, this one's simple. Each turn, when you play your first maneuver with Judo in the title, you choose 1. With her ability, she's only going to get to choose 1. Actually, hold on. So we'll go over this first. So she's going to choose if it's chain, if it's multi, or if it's plus 10 fortitude, plus 10 damage, and plus 1 stun. So this will give her Judo Choke. It will become a 10 for 13 with 1 stun. So she can play those bigger ones later on, and it's giving more of an impact with what she can do. I like to have more judo maneuvers coming down in the future to support these superstars. You know, same with superstars with kick, chop, choke, like all that kind of options. So they're not kind of wrapped to just playing the classic comic images cards in their decks. They get a bit of more variety. Straightforward. Next we have multiple combat sports champion. Cannot be blanked. When packing this card, your maneuvers with shoot in the title are not multi or cheater. So this is going to give her a little more choices. It's a shoehorning her a little bit to a maneuver type. When played as a counter, your maneuvers with Judo in the title cannot be reversed by non-specific 2D plus reversals. So counter, if some of you are unfamiliar with virtual, is when you play a maneuver. Counter replaces when you reverse a card to end your opponent's turn, and the first card played of your turn, in this case, would be Judo. When your maneuver with Judo or shoot in the title is unsuccessful, you choose 1. So she's going to choose 2. Put one other maneuver with Judo or shoot in the title from your ringside in your hand. He discards 1 card or draw 1 card and put 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your arsenal. It's straightforward. It is it's strong. It's not overpowered. It's in line with what maneuvers have been doing in Raw Deal. It's helping you get in that fortitude. But you'll notice with this, it's not permanent. you'll have seen a lot of cards in virtual up to this point have, been permanent RMS. This one can't be blanked, however, but we're going to bring back some cards that can be removed from ring area. We're introducing disruption back into it. That way, you're not always dealing with this negative effect. I mean, of course, with all cards up until October 4th, they're subject to change. Because we're still playtesting, still ongoing. So if we discover something that's overly nasty, we're going to change it, and we're still open to revisions. I mean, we're a small playtest group, small development group. We are not going to see everything, and we're doing this on our extra time. So we're bound to make mistakes, and we want to fix it, and keep the game going for the best. We got 10 viewers. I want to make sure everyone can still hear me okay. The chat's a little dead over there, so just want to make sure before I go over her min-match card. Do some picture-in-picture here. We can look up shoot maneuvers while we're at it. So she's going to have access to a whole bunch of the multis, which is shoot lockup, of course, everyone's favorite. There's the shoot kicker hold, which is the 3 for 3. And I think those are the only two multis that we need to worry about that she gets to pack. In judo, of course, are the 3 different ones, and then the one has a feedback. So we're scribbling down notes. Okay, well, I'm glad I can hear you. I look forward to seeing what it has to say on TCO afterwards. Alright, I don't give a damn about my reputation. It is a min-match action, 10 fortitude, not RMS, not permanent. However, they can't respond to this card. Number is equal to both players' combined superstar values in referencing to this card. So when your fortitude is equal or higher, your next maneuver this turn is plus number damage and can only be reversed by unique reversals. When your fortitude is equal or lower, your next maneuver is minus fortitude, and minus number fortitude, and can only be reversed from arsenal. When it's in your ring and you successfully play a maneuver, you put this card into your backstage. While this card is in your backstage, your superstar value is 0, and your opponent's non-superstar specific cards with superstar value in the text are blank. So this is more of a utility card played at any point. When you see Ronda across the table from you, you're going to want to save your restricted use of this area for this card, so you can reverse her maneuver that follows it. Yeah, it's a fun card. I don't call it overly powerful. A lot of people don't like the cannot respond to, but cannot respond to is the definitive cannot be reversed. And it gives a bit of flavor for dropping her value to 0. And what this also does is it gives her a fun little card we haven't seen in a while. Well, I guess we have with Interview with Mean Gene. Oh my god. Well-deserved push. Which shows she'll get both options, which is just, it's fun little flavor to go with her specifics and her ability. Alright, we're going into Arsenal cards. So another thing we're trying to do with Virtual 10 is less backstage area, less backlash deck. Elias is a little different, where he has 2 pre-match, 2 mid-match. But his character is more focused on those kind of like pre-match shenanigans. No, it's not a spoiler for an upcoming card, but it's something that we're kind of pushing to do. Her trademark finisher is the Rowdy armbar. It's a 30 for 23 stun RMS. Can't be reversed from hand unless your opponent discards 2 cards. As a reversal, reverses any non-unique maneuver. When your next card played is maintain hold, you can ignore the can only be played after text, and when that card is successful, you win the game via pinfall. This is funny because I saw some people mentioning on Discord and TCO where Gargano escaped. Oh, it's the first maneuver, first kind of submission trademark finisher that can't have maintain played after it. Well, I hope this makes up for it. I mean, on TV, when she locks in that move, it's the end. So we wanted to do that for her here. Otherwise, I think it's really good. It's fitting for her character. It's strong. I don't think it's too strong. Just watch out if she has this card in her hand. And she gets a second trademark, the Piper's Pit. It's a 20 for 15, just straight up non-hybrid maneuver. When this card is in your ring and you reverse a card from anywhere except Arsenal, remove the reverse card from the game. Oh, so that's another one. I gotta scribble notes now. That's why I'm glad I'm doing these previews where we're catching all of the errors as we're going on. Just gotta grab a piece of paper out of my desk here. Doing the graphics has been a lot of fun for this. I used to have fantasy templates, and then I moved to the official ones that have been virtual, so changing everything, trying to get the fonts going. The reversal card. So it's going to be remove the reversal card from the game. Now, so if you're playing against this and you overturn a divine intervention, you don't care so much if you're going to lose that. The manager interferes, you're going to lose. Specific reversals are a big thing too. Another thing, I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet. I'll zoom in here. But we are numbering the cards now. And it's V10.0, so if anytime there's a revision post-release, that decimal is going to have a 0.1, 0.2, just to show what version of revision that is. And Piper not pull. Oh, Hugo, they threw back his Piper's Pit to be playable. I forget what set it was. Let's see here. This card is in your backlash ring, your Roddy. No, sorry, Reichsel. It was supposed to say when this card is in your ring and you're... Oh. See, I have been so long since I've looked at these. And I'm glad I'm here to explain it all to you, being confused. So when this card is in your ring, so after you already hit the trademark and the trademark's in the ring, and you reverse a card from anywhere except your arsenal, you remove the reverse card from the game. What we have here is it gives you a blanket effect when it's in your ring. However, it's not permanent. It's only doing 15 damage, but it's giving her an ongoing effect while it's there. It's what you don't get that with a lot of trademarks, where you hit the trademark, it stays in ring, does nothing. This one's going to have lasting effects. I mean, it's a strong move. They've kept it strong. So when it's in play, it's going to keep giving her benefits, and it's going to be a detriment to the opponent's play for the rest of the game. I'm glad we're all doing this together here. Okay, Superman knee strike is her high risk. It's a 13 for 12. It can only be played after. yeah. When it's in a ring, she gets a real Piper's Pit. Yeah, I didn't have our development team. We're all Oh, okay, got it, got it. I thought I heard you say remove the reversal card. I was confused too. It's been so I haven't looked at these cards. These have been finalized for a little while. We're gonna fix up some of the wording as we'll discuss with this card here. Um, but I mean, this is. I'm glad we're all doing this together. That way, people are here to witness me make my mistakes rather than after they're all posted. So it's 13 for 12, can only be played after successfully played maneuver. When it was played after a 3D or greater maneuver, it becomes a multi. When played after from the top rope, this card can only be reversed from Arsenal. As Arsenal Search 1, rip your arm off. When this card is in your ring side, you may skip your draw segment and put this card into your hand. So a lot of things on here, a lot of conditions, different ways of doing it. Now, one thing that people may notice with what we're doing in this set and hoping to going forward is you see Arsenal Search 1. You may have seen the posts where this replaces the phrase search your arsenal for the card titled rip your arm off, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your arsenal. It wasn't, I don't think it was received the greatest. However, I didn't do the greatest job explaining what we were doing. I kind of just threw it in front of everyone there. We're playing around with a different wording of it, and it could become a mechanic for superstars. We're gonna go over that. But what this does here is just it's like a keyword line item, and it really reduces the wording. Like all the words you see on cards, except this doesn't really help with all the words on the cards. What do you guys think of this new direction for wording on cards? I know, what was it? Vela Cards, I think, posted a few months ago saying, "Hey, what don't you like about virtual? What would you change virtual?" And one of the users just suggested to do something along these lines, or we may have used the wording. I'll dig it up and I'll message him and give him direct thanks. However, we want to simplify the wording on this game and just make things overall easier. The game's a steep learning curve as it is. We want to keep bringing players into the game. We're going to be doing more modern superstars that matches the current TV product, and yeah, that's our goal, is just to make it kind of easier for everyone. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, I'm back. All right, 10 viewers. So thank you guys again for coming to watch us. I will go to the next. Rousey's Flurry of Punches is a 10 Fortitude 6 damage maneuver with RMS. It's just a straight up strike. It can only be played after a successfully played maneuver, and it can only be reversed from Arsenal. When successfully played, your opponent overturns 3 cards. They cannot reverse that overturn effect. After damage has been applied, choose 1, or in her case she's going to choose 2. Draw a card. Discard 2 cards to put this card back into your hand, or discard 2 cards to Arsenal Search 1 for Superman Knee Strike. Okay, there's a comment here. I like it. Thing about some of them, like, can only be played that have been replaced or ignored by other cards could be an issue, but keywords are great in my opinion. A lot of people are turned off by walls of text, and that's kind of what the game has become. I mean, you'll notice that in like Great American Bash, and I think there's No Way Out. I mean, you look at a dynamic maneuver, and just by changing up some of the wording with the direction we're going, you shorten up those cards immensely. With our Flurry of Punches here, the idea was to kind of borrow from Rock's Spit Punch. She's going to get to choose 2 things. She gets to draw 1, so she can discard. She can draw 1, discard 2 to put it in her hand, and she can constantly hit those Flurry of Punches. Originally, it was a lower damage, and it was very powerful to stop on the overturn. But putting it to 6 gave the opponent more opportunity to overturn that with like one reversal. And it's non-multi, it's unique, so a lot of stuff is going to hit it. She's got next a Rousey series of arm drags. It's a 0 for 5. It's a triple multi-grapple, and it takes 3 reversals instead of 2. This may remind you of, I think it was Chavo Guerrero's maneuver. When this card is in your ringside or unsuccessful, I had to fix that wording on there. It's considered to have judo or shoot in the title. So this is going to play off of her mid-match card, or sorry, her pre-match card. So you can put it into your hand from ringside when your maneuver with judo or shoot in the title is not successful. So she can pick it up. Now it's only 5 damage. She can't pump it with her backstage because when played, it's not considered to have judo in the title. We have Damn the Man, Screw the Woo, 4 Fortitude action, not multi. The opponent chooses 1, he discards 2, he overturns 2, or you remove 2 cards in his ringside pile from the game. With her ability, she's going to get 2 of these options chosen by the opponent. When your opponent is a male superstar or has a card in his ring area with the Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, or Stephanie McMahon logos, once during each of your turns, you may shuffle this card from your ring or ringside in your arsenal and end your turn. So I can't remember what it was, I think it was Virtual 8, there was some flavoring where people had specifics that played off of other superstars. CM Punk had a reversal that had The Rock listed on it. I know someone else had a card with John Cena. AJ Styles had a card with with John Cena listed on it. So we kind of want to bring back some of that flavoring to draw attention to these memorable moments on TV. We have Rip Your Arm Off next. If you remember, this could be searched for with one of her other specifics. With her knee strike. It's 20 Fortitude. You choose 1, so she's going to choose 2. Shuffle up to 8 cards from your ringside into your arsenal. You may arsenal search 1 non-superstar specific maneuver with arm in the title, or draw up to 4 cards. The arm's there for flavor. When your next card played this turn is a grapple submission or trademark finisher with arm in the title, it is plus 5 damage, and reversals to that card are plus 25 Fortitude. So we'll look up the cards with arm in the title. So a lot of them are lower damage. But I mean, you're giving it the plus 5 and you're plunging it by 25 Fortitude. So it could end games. You could shoot forearm, which goes with the whole shoot theme, the old straight arm shot, short arm clothesline. She can't pack any of the multis, unfortunately. It's a bit of flavor there for her. The baddest bitch on the planet is one of her reversals, 15 Fortitude. When playing this card, ignore reversal restrictions from cards and effects. You get to completely reverse any non-superstar specific maneuver and end your opponent's turn. When he reverses your maneuver with judo or shoot in the title, he chooses 1. He flips the card in his ring face down. You may arsenal search 1. So this would be your opponent's arsenal and remove that card from the game. Or you must remove 1 face down card in his ring from the game. It's permanent. So it doesn't have a win in your ring effect. You can only choose. He can only choose the must if he has it available. So he can flip a card and then must remove the 1 face down, or you're going to search his arsenal whenever he reverses for a card and remove it from the game. And that's it for Ronda's set. I would love to hear some of your feedback on it. If she gets the same reception as Johnny Gargano. She's a bit of a toolbox, like someone had mentioned before. You can do a lot of different things. There are a lot of actions and pre-match cards in the game that give advantage to her ability to choose multiple choices. There you go. I mean, minus some text clearing up and the possible change of the Arsenal search keywords. That is Ronda Rousey for Virtual 10, coming out this Friday, October 4th. Get some picture-in-picture here. I'll put on some music. Would love to hear your comments. With this set as well, all the superstars except for NXT are going to be other superstar. Well, I mean, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about Ronda. I've got something else I'm going to show off as well. Says the Office McMahon interactions. What do you guys have in mind for the choose one option cards? So the well-deserved push was a nice flavor that came with it. I'm trying to remember offhand. I don't want to open the playtesters forum offhand because that's where we're going over our lists. GM of Stevie Night Heat is a way to go. Getting the multiple choices. Restart the match gives you both options in the pre-match phase, because with virtual there's a lot of tailoring, manipulating the ringside, manipulating the hands, so this is going to give you an option to do both bits. Rest hold, it plays with her, not so much with judo. There isn't a lot of wrist hold or resting in judo unless you want to just choke them out, but it's going to give you multiple choices. Technically Sound and Brutal, everyone's favorite card for Johnny Gargano. And ECW, well, she can't pack that. Plus, we're going to be supporting, we're going to be supporting Superstars mechanics in the future as well by making non-specifics that go with multiple superstars. Ronda is to be a toolbox superstar. She's going to be versatile and do some things that could be very interesting. As I like to hear, I mean, you see a lot of decks you see these days are like German suplex, bootlace, shake, poke. We want to make superstars that lean away from those same old effects, because it just becomes unfun after a while. Just see the same moves over and over. You know, having to pack 3 great to be back here ins with "Don't be a douchebag" and Carlito says that's not cool. I mean, like a lot of my decks, you know, when we're playing locally here, it's the same. It feels like the same 28 to 32 cards because the reversal base is so similar, which is something we are going to be changing in the future. We want to change up how the meta works, so we're going to be introducing more cards that kind of force a shift in construction. And that's going to start in the holiday. Yeah, we're at 7 viewers. Got a few people dropping off here. Oh, I know I did wrong here. There we go. So how would you guys like to see one of the surprise superstars? Teru, that is something you need to do at the base of the sets, not with superstars with full-on basic card sets. Yeah, we've been playtesting something shortly after these superstars were introduced into playtesting. We're hoping to have it ready for the holiday set, but it's a cool new little kind of card subset and mechanic we want to do. All right. So one of our surprise superstars is Nia Jax. She is an 8/3. Once during each of your turns, you may allow your opponent to draw a card, and then you arsenal search one non-unique multi-maneuver. When your opponent is a female superstar, his non-superstar specific maneuvers are blank. You could pack a family legacy, it gains your logo, no cell maneuver, and multi-maneuvers. You cannot pack evening gown match or non-maneuver cards with packed by a female in the text, except title belts and the era of the superstar. Holy crap, I just realized Ronda gets both options in Lumberjack match. Yeah, that came up in playtesting. At first glance, we wanted to immediately ban it. But a Lumberjack is a little harder to get off when your maneuvers don't get the protection like Mojo Rawley does. We had a guy at the North American Championship running Mojo with 2 Lumberjacks, and his original build had 3 Lumberjack matches. He made top 4, however, he wasn't able to go further than that because there are a lot of cards that stop overturn effects. But we'll go back to Nia. So yeah, she's going to be a bit of a beast. She hurts female superstars, so when they're playing modified clutch onto opponent, German suplexes, she doesn't care about that stuff. They're blank text. If she becomes strong in your area, you're going to want to run drawing a blank in your females in case Nia is coming around. This seems to be a little more of an outdated wording for her ability. Sorry, let me get Photoshop opened here. But the wording is, because it's breaking a rule of the game where you can't just outright say that she could pack multi-maneuvers. So in addition on her ability, she could pack multi-maneuvers as if she's a male superstar. Oh, sorry. I got this too loud. There's my Photoshop. So, no, I don't have it on here either. But that's the reason why that's going to be on there. I don't have these in order like I did Ronda's. So we'll go to her backstage area, the face breaker. When packing this card, you may pack non-multi cards with face, fist, or punch in the title as if they are not volley or smackdown. So this is going to give her... you build her a bash deck, so she's going to get face stretches. She's going to get kidney punches, back fist, fisticuffs in a bash deck if you wanted to go that way. Your non-face cards with face and punch in the title cannot have their fortitude or damage modified by other cards and count as multi-maneuvers for your superstar ability and card effects. One thing to remember on this is that she does not make face... put the same colors on the... Yeah, punch after punch is a big one. So to remember with this is she does not make face and punch cards multi. You could search for them as if they're multi, but you're throwing them regularly. We had one of our early... one of the playtesters builder with that in mind. He overlooked it, so he was tossing all these maneuvers that weren't multis. So it was pretty funny to see. Hugo, put the same colors of the cards on the numbers. So you mean on the superstar cards, Hugo? Like make her ability... Like make her numbers on her card purple as well? But yeah, she's pretty powerful. Like all backstage area, it has RMS, so it can't be blanked. Yeah, she's going to be pretty nasty. I think everyone's going to go bash with her, but there are reasons not to. I mean, there could be just stuff coming down the road. It's one of those wait and sees, or just however your normal metas are. I will close this. Close this. Her pre-match card is a doozy. When your opponent is not an NXT superstar, this card is considered to be Armageddon is upon us for his effects. After all pre-match have been resolved, that's another typo. See, stare. As a result, he discards a number of cards where number is the number of cards in his hand greater than his printed hand size. When he's a Diva Superstar, number is +2. Once during each of your turns, when you successfully play a multi-maneuver, he may shuffle one random card from his hand into his arsenal. If he does not, you may arsenal search one non-unique multi-card. Pretty nasty. When in development, we went through like development hell with this. Doing different ideas where no player may search for cards and add them to their hand or modify hand sizes. It's getting very wordy, very complicated. So we decided to go with this. For some reason, I feel it should be a little different. I'll go proofing it afterwards. But this is going to hurt a lot of superstars, and it brings back that Armageddon is upon us, but with a pretty dangerous superstar. I mean, this is a reason for those low hand size superstars to be packing. Buying myself some time to draw the extra cards before the first turn, and with her ability, she's going to allow the opponents to build their hand back up. Yeah, you don't want to be watching her walking down to the ring. She's going to give you the icy stare, and you're going to shiver and lose some of your hand. However, this can be blanked. So if you're packing blanking effects, you can blank it, but it's permanent, so you can't remove it from her ring. Make the card not permanent. Oops, sorry. It's not in the order here, so we will go to her Nia Samoan drop. It's 35 for 30. His reversal is -10 fortitude. Reverse any card played after a setup or any strike. When played, your opponent randomly reveals 3 cards in his hand. He cannot play them or discard them to his effects. And after damage has been applied, shuffle them into his arsenal. So he's not going to be able to discard them for sustained damage. He's not going to be able to play any of these reversals. And he loses them afterwards, so it's like a pretty strong discard effect. Other than that, pretty straightforward. Big and powerful, just like her. She has next her leg drop. It's trademark and high risk multi. Can only be played after successfully played 5D or plus maneuver. It's plus number damage where number is equal to the total stun value in your ring area. And when you have her Samoan drop trademark finisher in your ring, this card cannot be reversed from arsenal except by non-superstar specific card. Oh, sorry, it cannot be reversed by non-superstar specific cards. So good little comboing. Multi-focused and increasing the damage to stun. I mean, if you're playing the bikini contest, it's 22 damage right away. Samoan drop in play, you're getting 25 damage, and you could just keep increasing it from there. More of a reason to go volley with her to keep that stun value going up, and of course you want to go with like backslides, inside cradles. This is her elbow drop. Can only be played after a successfully played 5D plus maneuver or as a counter to a 5D plus maneuver. It cannot be reversed from hand. When this card is in your hand or ringside, once during each of your turns, you may reveal it, put it in the bottom of your arsenal, and ringside search one non-superstar specific multi-maneuver. One thing I want to show you guys in case is she cannot search for her specifics with her ability. Or specific maneuvers. Or any unique multi-maneuver. So she can't search for Maneuver of Doom. She can't search for Tornado Takedown of Doom, the finisher, any of that stuff. So that's why her moves are a little stronger, but she's not able to tutor for them. We have her Splash in the Corner. It's a 20 for 15 with RMS. But this is one she can search for with her ability. You may search for this card as if it was non-unique. It can only be played after a successfully played multi-maneuver or as a counter. Your opponent shuffles 2 random cards from his hand into his arsenal. So this is getting cards back when she's searching for it. The opponent's losing 1 additional card after they draw for her ability. 3 stun value with RMS. Damn, well that is good because searching for them, it could just be nasty. Yeah, and that's one thing we didn't want to do. We want to make her specifics good, but you have to draw into them or get them from ringside or just find a way. Sack ready to fight, pick one up from ringside. There are a lot of different ways to get these maneuvers, but they're really powerful. This one's straightforward, but she can get it with her ability, so if you counter, you can search for it. But there's no reversal restrictions attached to it, and it's actually, in my experience, it's easier to reverse a multi-high risk than it is to reverse just a straight-up high risk. Because you can overturn or play once is enough, just get the F-outs. Well, get the F-out would hit it anyways. Or any other multi-reversals or things that reverse completely. Sorry, I'm just going over things here. We have Nia Shoulder Breakers, a 12 for 4. As a maneuver, it's minus 4 fortitude and plus 4 damage, so it becomes an 8 for 8. Your opponent shuffles 1 random card from his hand into his arsenal. As a reversal versus any grapple or high risk for 12 fortitude. It's 4 damage. So we have, she seems really strong with one of the big boys and banned from ringside. It's just a matter of time until all her multis stick. That's right, and you'll see in future sets we're changing some of the reversal bases around, and there are just other things we're changing for the meta. I know locally here our average decks are packing 4 to 6 or 7 multi-reversals. Like Out of Nowhere and Divine Intervention reverse multis on overturn, get the F-outs. I mean, there's so many unique maneuvers. Like, you're finding them 2 to 3 in every deck here. Once is enough if you're face, you're running 3 of them. And like just superstars with omni reversals that can hit all this kind of stuff. Got this here, Nia's Hair Toss. It's a 10 for 10. When your fortitude is 0 and your opponent has 10 plus greater fortitude, this card is minus 10 and can only be reversed from arsenal. Drop to 2 cards and he shuffles 1 random card from his hand into his arsenal. So this here is a reason to not go bash, and you don't want to, and a reason to not want revolution to go with the no cells instead. This is a guaranteed 10 fortitude. If you want to just wait and get beat on, she's going to come back for ferociously. Is that the word I'm looking for? I got the nod. That's the right word. And she's in the game again, and she's coming in swinging. She's swinging you first, and then she's going to be swinging with multis. We got a comment. She is going to be a pain with speed high risk decks. If she gets going, she's going to be a real pain. Yeah, but I mean, with the average decks are half reversals. A lot of the stuff is going to be stop zone overturn, and like she's going to have a maneuver available every turn. But I mean, the same could be said for like the Undertaker. He's able to discard 1 and pick up any maneuver every turn, so he could toss Germans, bootlaces. Sure, she has more effects that go along with successfully played, But I mean, if you draw a card and then you reverse her maneuver she plays, she gets nothing else. There's no drawbacks for her opponent to be reversing her stuff. Nia Jax also has no mid-match cards, and she only has the one pre-match card. So that's advantageous for the opponent, because a lot of the virtual decks these days, they're 3 specific pre-match or 2 specific pre-match and 2 or 3 specific mid-matches and reversals everywhere. I think that's it for her maneuvers. So we'll look at one of her Omni reversals, or they have one reversal she has, backed by Tamina. It's a 15 Fortitude. It reverses any maneuver, and this card is a run-in. Doesn't reverse a run-in maneuver. You put when you're playing this, it's 15 for 5. When you play it, you're putting up to 2 multi-maneuvers from your ringside into your hand. The first maneuver played during your next turn is plus 5 damage. It's kind of like Cowboy Bob interferes in a way, except you're picking up 2 maneuvers. You could pick up specific maneuvers with this, but it's fitting because it's a specific reversal. Force of Greatness, it's a multi-action. It is a special reversal. It's a 10 for 6. This card is plus 1 Fortitude for every D1 plus pre-match card in your ring, so that's for the love of the games if you're going bash. As an action, it's minus 6 Fortitude. It can be reversed by reversal cards that would reverse a strike or grapple. As a reversal, reverses any non-maneuver card, so it would be any action card. She can't search for this off her ability. There's different ways for her to be able to get this, but it's a neat little way for her to get that 6 Fortitude. She could play it at 4, so I mean, you could pump kick into it if you wanted to. You could play a whole whack load of pre-match cards, 3 bash pre-match, 2 or 3 for the love of the games, and you could play it turn 1. I mean, not the most exciting, but it's the variety of different ways you could play it. And she has one more card. I'm not like most girls from her theme song. It's Dean Ambrose, John Moxley on there. That would have been a fun match to see. 0-0. As an action, you shuffle 5 cards from your ringside into your arsenal, and then you ringside search 1. So you're just picking up any card from your ringside. As a reversal, reverse any non-trademark finisher maneuver or non-damage card effect. When overturned, you put this card into your ring. As an ace, once during each of your turns, you may reveal a Nia Jax specific card from your hand and shuffle into your arsenal and draw 2 cards. When your opponent is a female, this effect cannot be reversed. She can't search for specifics off of her abilities, so you can't abuse that over and over and constantly draw. If you have the high risks that you're not able to play because you can't get anything successful, you can shuffle those into your arsenal and draw 2 cards from it. If you get that hair toss and you have that one revolution of the mind in your ring, you shuffle it in and draw 2 cards. It's a way to get rid of those harder to play cards she has out of your hand and use that as a resource instead. Other than that is Nia Jax, are one of 2 surprise superstars. Tomorrow on the OMG Games Facebook group page, they will be revealing our other surprise superstar for this set. I will be working when I'm done this live stream. I'm going to briefly work on them, make sure that all the wording's cleared up, and send that over to them. OMG, just to give you a bit of story, they're a Magic card store in our area that also sell board games. If you play Magic, they sell singles and ship them out. We've been playing there since 2015 when we rebooted Raw Deal locally. We held the North American Championship there. They've always been good to us, so we kind of want to show them off for everyone who plays Raw Deal. And as a bit of thank you, give them some exposure. But thank you guys for checking out the stream. I'll hang around a little bit just to see, any comments on Nia Jax, on Ronda, thoughts on virtual so far. I'll answer any questions, any development, or if anyone has ideas, what they'd like to see in the future, or with the direction we're going. Um, I'm up for any conversation. I missed Ronda. Oh, sorry, Euthanic. You'll be able to check the what is it, I guess the save video for this. I'm gonna post these superstars either later tonight or tomorrow morning, so you guys are getting a bit of an exclusive drop. Unless any of you want to share them online. But there you have it. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey coming October 4th, this Friday. It's been a lot of work. The teams did a lot of work for this, so I hope everyone enjoys it all. The video on demand will be up soon. Quick Ronda question. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Ronda will get backed by Vince, managed by Vince. Anything played or any effects? So why does she not let her opponent choose to lose the game? What card is that preventing? That's preventing back by Vince McMahon. That's the only one I could think of offhand that allows for it. I mean, it's the WWE. Like, no one will give up a fight against her. They won't quit right away. I mean, sure, it'd be fun to give your opponent that ability when they play the game. But I mean, they could immediately. I think they could pop WrestleMania right away. Let's check that out. Oh. Or the concedes and loses the match. So they're not going to lose by pinfall. But it's just there to prevent it. Any card interactions that we may overlook. It just will simplify things. I don't think pay-per-view main event will do it. I think that refers directly to losing by pinfall. When you're about to lose the game via pinfall victory. So, I mean, I don't think conceding and losing the match. Let's look up the FAQ. I did not expect that from Ronda. If you look at her specifics, a lot of them are built around her ability. But her backstage area and pre-match give her like maneuver-based options. So this will trigger for any pinfall no matter how it happens. We'll get back by Mr. McMahon. So no, there's nothing about if it loses by pinfall. I think if the card doesn't say losing, it doesn't say loses by pinfall victory. So they will not lose, so it wouldn't activate WrestleMania anyways. But it helps avoid any confusion with it. And just helps future-proof any other possible issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna sign off very shortly. If you did enjoy it, I could do stuff like this further. I mean, when the set comes out, we could go over like a Superstar strategy guide kind of thing. We can get some of the other developers and playtesters on, or if anyone wants to spotlight a deck they enjoyed, we can do a live stream together. As long as you have a microphone, we could set up desktop sharing, or I could stream it all this way. Good way to get Raw Deal out there for more people to see, to get people in the game. If they have starter cards laying around or old decks, it's a matter of just printing off this stuff at Staples and sliding it into sleeves. I'll stick around for just a few more minutes, just for the chat to catch up. Other than that, I'm going to be out of here for the evening and getting ready to drop this set this Friday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view. Do I need to add anything else, Sarah? No, I got the note. What do I have here? I could show you guys. Alright guys, well, I see nothing else going on here. I'm going to close this up. If you missed it, or you know anyone who's missed it, send them a link to this video on demand, and have yourselves a good night, and I'll talk to you online.